Arr, if you're a pirate. Hello, beans. I'm back from my intermission. If you haven't been to my channel before, my name is Maxine. I make videos and content to help educate, enlighten, and inspire my fellow human beings so that you can live your happiest life and we can make a better world for future generations. Welcome! Go ahead and like and subscribe if you haven't. So I want to jump into some announcements first and foremost. For one, that I have a Ko-fi. This is my big announcement, guys. It was going to be a website and that just took too much time and it wasn't going to be as cost effective. So Ko-fi it is. I could do everything I wanted to do over there, which is provide a shop where you can purchase tarot readings from me, a membership you can join. It's called The Sweetest Beans and get daily journal prompts and affirmations, access to exclusive weekly meditation videos with me that will not be anywhere else but that Sweetest Beans community on my Ko-fi, access to my Book of the Month blog where I will post at least once a week a little blog post about a book that has inspired me or taught me, so that even if you don't read it, you can still gain the inspiration from it that I gained and the knowledge from it that I gained, and you can possibly just add it to your stuff to read later, and you know, who knows. Yeah, all that kinds of fun extra stuff over there on the Sweetest Beans membership. It's $10 a month, so it's not gonna blow your pockets out. Just give you some extra inspiration, and not to mention community, because you'll have access to all the other like-minded beans in there who want to grow and make the world better and be kind to each other, so it'll be fun. And then there's also my life coaching membership available over there now. It's $75 a month. It is the other part of the big thing because a lot of work went into it, even though it's seemingly a membership on Ko-fi. It's actually all of my knowledge and wisdom and life experience poured down and jotted out and concentrated into an adaptable lesson plan to help you pull yourself out of whatever stuck place you feel like you're in and help you start creating the life of your dreams. I don't do things the way a lot of people do them either. So if you want to go over there, you would always have someone on your side supporting you, hyping you up, and working with you to fix the habits and thought processes that may have been holding you back up to now. Go check that out. They also get access to the Sweetest Beans community, and you get a personal texting line with me, my endless adoration and attention, and weekly homework too. I've worked really hard so that I can help you guys. So go check all of that fun stuff out. I plan on adding lots more stuff to my Ko-fi later. But yeah, so go check out my Ko-fi. The link will be in the description of my channel and in the description under this video and every video after this. It will also be on my socials, which is the second announcement. It's basically just to tell you yet again to go check me out over on Instagram and Threads. That's where you'll get even more education, enlightenment, and inspiration. On a daily basis, I post stories, I post information about what's going on in the world, I post fun photography and memes. Lots of fun inspiration and stuff over there. It just never ends, guys. Last is to make sure you check the links in my description. I've added a donation station down there for humanitarian causes, charities, nonprofits that aim to help fix or aid atrocities or just injustices in the world. I definitely have several down there for Gaza. I have at least one for Congo, Sudan, and then there's also one to aid fighting homelessness here in the United States. So make sure you go check those out. I also always put links to anything I mention in the videos, not even as an ad, just in case you guys want to check it out. And I link apps that I use and that I find helpful and inspiring on a daily basis. So make sure you check those out as well. I put them down there for a reason. On to the good stuff. I love winter. I love winter. I think it is a fantastic time to both wind down while simultaneously like building your energy up for the rebirth in the new year. Also, just personally love the cold. I like the cold. It makes me feel alive. It makes me feel clean and awake, and I just feel like I could just you know, and that is the opposite of how summer makes me feel, which is gross and angry and sluggish and not a huge summer gal. But with that being said, I know that I am opposite from a lot of people in that area, and that most people really like the summer and the sunshine, and that this time of year when there's definitely more darkness than light and there's more chill than warm, you know, that can definitely like add a damper to a mood. You know, my people out there with sad, I definitely have friends who during this time of year have a really hard time, and you get in a really dark space and it's stressful because of just the holidays. It takes a toll because of all the darkness. For me specifically, it's more the holidays, especially since I turned like 16 or so. Around that time, they just kind of started becoming like, oh great, now I have to spend every dollar that I've worked so hard for on presents, and then I still have to pay my bills, and then I have to act like everything is fine. Instead of like, yay, it's Christmas. I don't do that as much anymore. I'm very honest with my emotions. I don't feed in or buy into consumerism. So like if I can't afford to buy my family gifts, I make them cool things. I write them love letters, whatever. I don't let the holidays stress me out anymore. But that's what I'm getting to, is that I think this is a good time of year to rest and to build the energy up, instead of letting ourselves get stuck in that darkness that like is calling this time of year. What better helps us to bring us out of that darkness and out of our heads than like thinking of a vision of the future, something out there. Also, all the things you've done that have brought you here. You know, mindset is always very important. This time of year, you know, it's the end of the year. We're getting ready to start the year. So while it is valid to feel melancholy and even straight up depressed, we do need to be mindful of our emotions as they happen. You know, we still can't let them run willy-nilly and decide they run the show. They don't let them do that. Your emotions will fully take advantage of you. They're like children. If you don't pay attention to them, if you don't watch them and get to know them, they will play you. They will play you, honey, and they will do what they want to do. So it's very important that we try to stay mindful of those emotions, and we don't let ourselves get too attached to that melancholy and to that sadness that we do have, maybe shouldn't hold on to so hard. I wanted to share what I'm doing to stay grounded during this last Mercury retrograde of 2023 that are also going to help me make 2024 the best year yet. This is what I like to call a little R and R and R and R, otherwise known as R if you're a pirate. I'm sorry. But seriously, R and R and R and R actually stands for resting, rejuvenating, reevaluating, and relishing. But we're going to start with resting because it's the most important one. It's the first step for a reason. It's the reason that your body automatically kind of wants to go into a depression, so to speak, around this time of year. We're going to think about nature again here because we are part of it. Nature in winter, everything has fallen away and the trees are bare. They are building up their strength, drawing the nutrients from the ground. Animals are hibernating, which actually does not mean they sleep for 3 months. Did you know that? I didn't. I found out last year. So animals are hibernating, and what that means is they gather up a lot of food, they eat a lot of this food so that that food creates extra fat on their body and it creates extra warmth, and it, you know, as they're having to slowly expend energy and there is less food, less resources through the winter, they still have energy that they need to at least get done what they need to get done in order to make it to spring. That is also what humans need to do. But we have, again, forgotten that we are part of nature. We act as if we are aliens dropped here, and maybe a few of us are, but the vast majority of us aren't. We are part of nature. We work with it. If we pay attention to it, things go a lot smoother for us. And I don't mean you have to be a hippie, move out in the woods, live in a yurt, okay? Just mean pay attention. When it's winter, when everything outside is resting, that probably means you have permission to rest as well. During winter, I definitely take advantage of the extra darkness. I will say at this point in my life, I already have an old lady sleep schedule. I go to sleep around 10. I wake up around 5:30, 6 a.m. And I love it that way. I love watching the sunrise. I love going to bed when the day is done. That's just how I like things. Around, what, like 5, 6 in the evening, my brain is like, I'm done. I'm done for the day. I'm not doing anything else. During the summer, that's not acceptable because there's still sun, there's still day, there's still stuff to do. During the winter, it is perfectly fine that my brain wants to shut off at 6 p.m. That's fine. It's dark, and I would tell people that. It's dark outside. I'm resting. When it starts getting dark, I let myself rest. I start doing things that make me feel restful, like watching comforting TV shows, reading books, cuddling in my favorite blankets and my favorite hoodies, because that's one of my favorite parts of winter, is that I can wear all my hoodies and use all my blankets. I have an abundance. When we're working towards the new year, we're working towards the holiday. That's why we're getting so like burnt out and depressed this time of year, is because it's a time when we are supposed to be taking a little more rest. We are supposed to be prioritizing the regeneration of energy, but instead we're like going harder than ever. It just doesn't have to be that way. I feel like we just forget these things. So I'm here to remind you. You don't have to go that hard. It doesn't have to be this stressful. It actually should be the opposite. Take your time getting ready for the holidays. If that means having to buy presents all year, start buying your Christmas presents for next year in January and just do it slowly. Do things in your time. There's no need to rush any of it. It's all gonna go down, it's gonna get done, or it's not gonna get done. And yeah, with that being said, I also like to think resting means taking breaks from people that may take too much energy from you. If that means maybe this holiday season not going to 1 or 2 of the events that you have planned, that's all right. You don't have to go to every event. I don't know if anybody's told you that, but they'll still love you if you don't. And if people are getting mad at you because you've already used all of your social energy and you can't come to their party, then it's a lame reason to get mad at somebody. Just saying. They'll get over it. Maybe I'll cut that out so I don't seem like an asshole. So resting also means taking time to yourself, spending time with people who give energy to you and who make you feel safe and comfortable, and able to rest. Trust me, I got the family that makes me feel like I can't rest either. They got you on high alert the whole time. Yeah, that's not fun. And you don't have to do those things. Just putting that out there. If you could cut out one of the things that maybe is just stressing you out, that would be very helpful for you moving into the new year. That's what I'm doing. I'm taking extra naps. I am going to bed early. I am saying no to events that I don't want to go to. I am resting. So step 2 through 4, it gets fun. You gotta rest to have fun. You can't have fun if you haven't rested. That's just how it goes. So number 2 is rejuvenating. This is also very important in all the R&R and R's. Because this is where you're giving the energy back to yourself. This is self-care. This is what the girlies love. This is what we live for. Winter is the perfect time to start prioritizing self-care. And I don't even mean like the not fun self-care. There is self-care that we have to do that's not fun. I'm talking about the fun self-care. I'm talking about taking bubble baths. Stuff that's like good for your skin and it's gonna feed your body. Taking baths, doing your skincare, starting a skincare regimen if you haven't yet. I am just trying to get better about my skincare, mostly just because I've like fallen off in the last few weeks. When things get crazy, I put my skincare to the side and I shouldn't do that. I'm working on that. So that's why this is here. That's why it's here. I will be working on my skincare. I will be doing face masks. I will be painting my fingernails just because I have extra time. I think that's something that ends up depressing people a lot of the times in the winter, is that we just like have extra time because we're not going on vacation most of the time in the winter, you know, like we can't just drive to the lake and go swim or go ride bikes and stuff. I mean, you can, but it's cold and a lot of people don't like to. So then we have just extra time inside, and that makes people feel unproductive and bored. So we get all take that extra time to do something that fills you up, that gives you joy, gives you, even if it's not like actual like health for your skin and your body, like if that means painting again because you haven't in a while, or drawing, or reading, or watching movies. I had a friend tell me that they love winter because that's when they catch up on the movies they haven't got to see. Do that. Do what fills you up. Rejuvenate yourself. We're moving into the new year. You want to move into the new year, or at least I do. I want to move into the new year with the energy that I want to have all that year. I want to be able to tell 2024 as soon as I step in, hey, I'm here, I'm ready to go, let's have a good year. So I like to rejuvenate myself. I put energy back into myself. I do the things that fill me up, which is my skincare, my fingernails, reading my books, doing some extra journaling, that kind of fun stuff, which kind of leads us into the next one, the next R, which is reevaluating. Now, I know I said that this was going to be fun, and you're like, this does not sound fun to me, Maxine. This sounds like work. It's not. It's really not. After I've rested, and then I've given myself some treats, and I've given myself some energy, and I've filled myself up with things that inspire me, then I have that winter itch, you know, that like need to do something productive, and the feeling that I'm somehow not doing enough to be productive because there's not enough light in the day. Here is something you can do, and you don't need light to do it. You can, and I do it in my journal and on my vision boards. Reevaluating is making a vision board, essentially. It's where I look back at the goals and manifestations that I set for like last year. It's just a good time where you can go back if you haven't in a while and, you know, look at those things. And looking at them, for one, you see things, or at least I do, I'll see things that for one I'm like, well, that is simply not a goal anymore. I don't care about that. There's always going to be a random thing on there that you're like, why did I want to learn Portuguese? So like looking at the goals that maybe hit for me in the long run, goals that I did like but that didn't work out. If there was a goal that you didn't hit, try to just rephrase it. Saying it a different way, putting it in a new light, sometimes that's all you need. It's like when you lose something and you're like, where's my pen? Where's my pen? And it's like directly in front of your face, but you can't see it because you've been staring at that area for so long. Once you leave the room and you come back, you see the pen because you haven't been looking directly in here. Reevaluate. Take a second to look back at your old goals, your old manifestations. What came true? What didn't? What came close? What did you decide you just are not actually a fan of at all? That wasn't even really like a goal you cared about. This is a great time for that right now. I don't see a more logical time. And of course, starting now, you've still got like 2 weeks. So again, don't rush. There's no point in rushing. It's not going to do anything but stress you out and possibly make your work not as good because you were rushing. Once I look at all those things and I've decided, like, versus last year, what am I doing this year? And then I go make a new vision board to make like one page in my journal where I just write out all my manifestations for the year as if I already have them. I set healthy, adaptable routines for myself. I am honest and understanding with my partner. My life is full of love and abundance. I learn new languages easily and with fervor. I connect back to my true self by connecting to my body and my breath. Not all of these things are necessarily, you know, directly true right now, but I want them to be. That is what I want my reality to be for 2024. That's what all of this is for, is that I look at this and I see what I want to do different next year. I've rested and rejuvenated, so I'm able to see things in a positive light and make a fantastic beautiful vision board to manifest my dreams. And I do. The last rule is second in importance only to the first rule. It is not last because it is the least important. It is last because chronologically, if you're doing all the R's, it would just kind of come last in order. But if you're not doing all of them, if you only do 2 of the R's, if you choose to just do R and R, do rest and relishing my growth, because that's number 4. That's the 4th R. Relishing my growth. It's so important because it's essentially an act of gratitude, and gratitude is the deepest and fastest way to manifest. To call in that law of attraction is with gratitude and with realizing what you already have and what you've already done. Not only that, but when I sit at this time of year, I'm looking back, you know, I'm resting, I'm taking my time, I'm taking care of myself. I'm looking back at my goals and stuff from last year, all the things that I accomplished, all the things that I've learned about myself. And then I see myself doing all these things. And I'm like, you know what? I wouldn't have done this a few years ago. I would not have taken this time to be kind to myself and give myself grace and patience as we work through this season of quiet and, you know, cleansing and rebirth. I wouldn't have done this a few years ago. I would have just been trudging along with my life, just still on the hamster wheel of society, continuously going and never knowing why I didn't feel satisfied. So when I look at that, when I see that, that is such a good feeling. That is the feeling that pushes me into the next year, is that like, I've done so much. I've done so good. Even if the last year, maybe there wasn't a whole lot of change for me personally, this 2023 was wow for me. A lot of change. It's been chaotic, but so lovely. But, you know, even if there's a year where there wasn't a lot of change for me, like the years leading up to it, like everything up to this, my life up to this point, the amount of growth and learning and love and life that I've had is amazing. It's amazing for all of us if we truly take a step back and look at it. Relish your growth. Look at how far you've come. Even if you didn't accomplish every goal, you accomplished some of them. And I guarantee you there are a few people out there who thought you couldn't, and you did anyway. So for one, there's a good reason to stop caring what they think, because it doesn't make a difference. Number 2, you're awesome. But you won't see that until you take a second to stop and see it, to stop and take a breath and give yourself a little bit of credit for making it this far, because not everyone does. That is the R for you. Little R and R and R and R to help you start your new year, to help you end this year in a calm and kind and loving way with yourself, giving yourself credit for everything you've done. That's what I'm going to be doing. Just loving myself straight through the winter. I hope that I have inspired you guys to do the same. I hope that you take your time, just rest and breathe and rejuvenate and reevaluate and relish everything that is this human experience that we get. For all the good and bad in it, no one has it but us, so it has to be something. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss any of the education and you don't miss any of the education, inspiration, or enlightenment that I bring to the channel. Check out my Ko-fi and my socials in the description and in my about. Just leave a few emojis that you want to love. Little emoji vision board in the comments. Those would be so cute. That would just be really cute. Maybe I'll leave mine down there too. It'll just be like a fun little game. How cute. I love you beans so much. Thank you for being here yet again. Come back next week. I am going to do a video. I don't typically, tell you guys what I'm doing next because sometimes I don't know. Next week, I'm going to do a video on how to make the perfect vision board because I've made probably too many vision boards. Love an aesthetic, okay? I love aesthetics. I love quotes. I love to play and goof around. And vision board is goofing around with intention. Check in next week to see how to make your perfect vision board. Until then, be kind to each other. Be kind to yourself. I love you so, so much.
I really wanted to get it right. Trying to find some balance in my life. I never really put up a fight.